Alrighty, hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Sorry for the weird kind of lag with my video. It's not as fluid as it normally is. I don't know why, but I'm gonna get a new HDMI cord later on today or tomorrow from Best Buy to see if I can fix it up here. Happy to see all of you guys in here. The Seahawks won, that was an amazing day. I think the Chiefs just won too, so that was a good day for them as well. Everybody seems to be doing okay in the cryptocurrency markets today, just because Bitcoin itself is getting a little bit higher here, which I think overall is some pretty good news. So hey, Raskavan, happy to see my man, or no, Rakasan. I'm gonna mess it up a little bit here. And hey, Villa, happy to see both of you guys in here. Loki has some treats here from 4Health jerky tenders. They're not sponsored, but he seems to like them pretty well. They're a little bit harder than other jerkies and stuff like that, so he likes this one. Sometimes I get a softer one, sometimes I get a drier ones, and he seems to like these drier ones a lot better for some reason. But it's turkey. It's a turkey one, right? And you can see him get in here immediately. Excuse me, can you sit down? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I said sit down, not hover up. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And then he runs away to go snack on it in his room. All right. Happy to see all of you guys in here. Happy to see you, David. A few things before we get started here. Let me move these treats to the ground so I can actually see my monitors. Razvan, is it okay? All right, perfect. Thank you, man. Let's go over here very fast and get this stream started off with the big news of the day. So, Black Friday is back from TradingView. If you guys are looking for a new subscription to TradingView and you guys want to support the channel, you guys can use links down below. But they got their same old Black Friday deals with what extra for 80% off, which is pretty interesting. And this is going to be Essential plus Premium and Ultimate. Ultimate is 80% off, but it costs $576. Personally, I don't see the value for the majority, if any of you guys, to use Ultimate. Even I don't use Ultimate. I don't see the point of Ultimate. And again, I have multiple monitors. I use multiple TradingView layouts at the same time, and I don't see the value of it. So if you guys are looking for a new one, I think the majority of you guys are either going to be going with Plus or Premium. But to be honest, the way this is structured is Premium is only $1 more than Plus. So if you guys are thinking about it, don't even think about Plus, just get the Premium. If you guys are looking for something extremely cheap, Essential might be your best bet. My issue with Essential is that the majority of you guys, as you learn how to trade and you start needing more indicators and stuff, Essential really restricts you after a while, where you're going to have to spend more money to get something like a Plus or a Premium. So it's worth it to just get the Premium right now if you guys can. If for whatever reason you guys can't afford the Essential, or excuse me, the Premium, you can't afford the $217 if you can only afford the 126, I would say then okay, then that makes sense to just get the 126 one right there. So pretty good deals right now. If you guys are looking to extend it, that's the best way. In recent years, what they've done is they've allowed you to extend it, which is pretty good. I believe the past few years you had to make a new account or something like that in order to do it. But extend right here, very good thing right there. The sale ends in 5 days, 9 hours, and 55 minutes. I believe right after this, it goes to a Cyber Monday sale. And I believe the Cyber Monday sale, I think, is like 60%, 30%, 20%, just a little bit less off. But overall, this is going to be the best opportunity for those of you guys that like to use TradingView to buy it. All right. Just want to make sure I let you guys know. I usually tell you guys every year, but I forgot to do it this year. So now is the time. If you want to do that, go for it. As far as Bitcoin and everything is concerned, oh guys, this has been a just not a great week. Right now we're seeing some really strong moves. Bitcoin's up around 3.5%. Ethereum is only up 2%. Solana's up 4%. Dogecoin's up 5%. Melania is at 5%, whatever. But you know, Ethereum is not doing so great when everything else is doing pretty well. I just want to stress right now we're seeing if we can actually hold above the 20-month moving average. This isn't the biggest thing in the world, I would say. We've fallen down below it right over here just to pop back up above it, right? Right here we broke down below it just to break back above it, even if it was COVID. I understand it. Not the biggest thing, but it is something we're breaking down below right now, and we're entering into this larger buyer zone, this larger level of support. If you guys think the bull market is still on and you guys want to have an opportunity to buy some of your favorite tokens, right now is an opportunity for you to buy some Bitcoin. I'm holding off, as I said before. One of the things that I don't like is the fact that we are breaking down below the 50-week moving average, and then on top of that, you can almost see a death cross coming. The only thing that could possibly change this is if we have a massive reversal that starts next week and we start moving up so fast going into December that we actually stopped the death cross from coming, and the charts look something like that. So where there was almost an opportunity for a death cross, but instead we ended up rallying higher. We've had that happen a few times where it looks like everything was doomed, and all of a sudden we had a big jolt to the system, and that was right back over here. You can see how we appeared to have a death cross. We were not looking so great. Then all of a sudden we started to jolt back up day by day, week by week, and that weekly reversal really gave us some just great momentum that saved us from that death cross. Back over here we had something similar. It was looking like we might have a death cross if everything kept on going without a big jolt. All of a sudden a massive jolt, and then we were back on business, so to speak. Over here looking pretty nasty. Looks like there's an opportunity for another death cross here. Big jolt to the system. Everything was fine, at least for a little bit longer. An all-time high, at least another all-time high. So that was some good news. I think I've been watching a lot of influencers out there, whether it be Crypto or Us, Benjamin Cohen. Everybody just has their own opinions right now, and I'm not really excited about what happens in the next few months. I think I'm kind of skewing over to the Benjamin Cohen side, thinking there's probably, well, he says there's probably like an 80% chance we're in a bear market now. I'm maybe around 75%, but I do think it's growing here because we haven't found a way to get back above that 50-week moving average, and we really haven't had anything of an indication the Fed is going to be willing to really drop rates consistently and get that money printing, which is usually how Bitcoin sees some really, really good opportunities. Once the Fed came out a few months ago and saying, hey, or last month saying, hey, we're a little bit iffy about doing another rate cut, you saw the market just come down completely. We're going to try to hold on for a little bit longer, but it just hasn't been that great. How high do you think we'll get in the next 24 hours? Dude, I am not good at that type of stuff right now. If you wanted to play that type of game, maybe you could see us going as high as either $90,000 before we start to have something of a meaningful pullback to try to consolidate, then try to make another push up here towards like $93,000, $94,000. So probably up here toasted at like $89,000, $90,000, maybe another $1,500 to $2,000 above where we are right now, 24 hours from now. There was some opportunities here over the last few days. So what I did is I built out that new layout, or not even a new layout, I just restructured the old layout where we have the Bitcoin daily chart, the Bitcoin 4-hour chart, and we have the Bitcoin 15-minute chart, and we kind of do these trades to see how they're working out. These two trades, unfortunately for us, you're not taking them because we're in a bullish environment here. You can see the momentum shifted over here around 4 a.m. Saturday, and it was 11 p.m. Saturday, so like the whole rest of the day had gone, and we didn't have that one. This one right here, of course, was after the 4 a.m., so you haven't really been having an opportunity to do too much trading because we're seeing a minor reversal. But if things start to bounce off support levels here, right, and we start to go green as far as the change of character, and momentum starts to turn green, which you guys can see the stochastic and the RSI right now, almost there. You could see a short-term pop where Bitcoin gets back up to like $96,000, maybe $95,000, which would be huge. That's like a $5,000 to $8,000 increase for Bitcoin. So there is some opportunity for us right now, though. But right now, your day trading is pretty much taken off of your arsenal right now because we're seeing this little bit of reversal in momentum. Because momentum isn't all coming down, momentum isn't all coming down like it was over here. You don't really feel the need to be doing a lot of shorting right now, unfortunately. I'll let you guys know when we're hopping back into it. As far as shorting is concerned, doesn't seem too important right now. There's been a lot of opportunities here, as we've talked about. This one worked out because everything was bearish and bearish over here. This one worked out. That one worked out. This one worked out. That one worked out. This one did not work out, and that was what time? 7:30 Monday? The 17th. Yeah, that one didn't work out right here. Wait, 7:30. 8 o'clock. Oh, the momentum was still up at that point. That's the only reason why. This one worked right here. Momentum was still coming down. This one's fine. This one came down. This one didn't. Oh, yeah, this was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, 8 a.m., 4 p.m., 12. Yeah, we had some bullish momentum right there when it was choppy right there. So again, it's working out pretty well as long as everything is kind of aligned. Right now, nothing is going to be aligned, so I'm not even doing any day trading today. I thought about it, but I was like, it's NFL day, it's football. If you guys go over to NFL scores, NFL scheduled. you'll see that the Seahawks won, Chiefs won, Texans won on Thursday, Packers won, Ravens won, Giants lost to the Lions, Bears beat the Steelers, Patriots beat the Bengals, and now we're on to the second salvo of games, I'll just call that. Browns are destroying the Raiders. Oh god, yeah, Pete Carroll, get that mother out of there. Jaguars losing to the Cardinals, a little bit of surprise. Falcons, Saints, Cowboys. Oh, Eagles are dominating the Cowboys though. Oh, poor Cowboys, what are they gonna do? And then we got the Buccaneers at the Rams. I expect the Rams to beat the Buccaneers tonight, but that'll be an interesting game to watch if you guys are out there amongst the people. But yeah, some of the news going on today. One of the interesting things though is that Zcash continues to go higher. Zcash. If you guys are looking to do a little bit of day trading, Zcash could be for you. I was actually trying to do this a little bit ago while going over here, just typing up Zcash off Binance, and you can see this chart is completely different. A little bit of a reversal, over the week, a little bit of a pop today. Maybe we're seeing a little bit of a triangle, then a breakout pattern happening over the next few days. We'll have to wait and see. You are going to see a lot of people try to short this sucker down because Bitcoin itself has been going down. But if you were to add something like do I have it still on here? Yeah, there it is. There you go. All right, if you would add a super trend, you'll see this one right here worked for you pretty well. But go over to something like the 15-minute chart with all the volatility. It hasn't been terrible. As I think if you add on some type of momentum onto this, because you can see right now, momentum was creeping down here, right? If you can find those opportunities where you're like going from bearish momentum to bullish, I think there's an opportunity for you guys to make some money. But you guys have to use some of the longer term charts to see what's going on. But I do think the super trend on this one is going to be a very helpful tool. I would say maybe the 4-hour MACDs, stochastics, and RSIs paired with the super trends on the 15 or 30-minute charts could be a really good strategy for this one right here. But a lot of chaos in this one, which is always going to be a little bit more fun. I was going over a bunch of other tokens here too. Hbar, SPX, Tau. I mean, we're seeing a lot of stuff have boosts. It's just that, as you can see, a lot of this stuff is still down. Hbar is still down for the last month. SPX is still 51% down for the last month. Tau down 22, IP down 53, So we're not looking particularly great, but in the short term here, there's opportunities, right? There's definitely some opportunities here. Let me take a chug of water here. I plan on having a longer stream. We're going to see how this works out. I have been enjoying some water though. All right, but you can see across the board, things 3, 4, 5% up, 7 up to 20, stuff like that. There are a few things down to like Toncoin, World, a bit of financial, Aster, Pump Fund. It's interesting that they're down, right? But I mean, there's still a lot of stuff booming right now, like Credit Coin, Toshi, Radium, AIOZ, good. Oxycoin, Soon, Fluid, all down quite a bit. So it's not a perfect world because the rest of the market is still kind of flushing out, if to be honest, right? But we're in extreme fear right now. We're in extreme fear. We haven't been in extreme fear in a long time. So we're going to have to take some time to get out of this one, guys. It's going to take some time, unfortunately, for us. Definitely going to take some time. And hey, Productivity, happy to see my man. Just bought 75 in Fartcoin using my government salary. There you go, right at its peak. I know for me, it's been more of... I guess I've just been looking at those AI stocks. My AI stocks have not been performing well, though. I know I'm supposed to buy some more next week, I think. I was up 0.35%, so like 33%, whatever the last day. I opened up this Robinhood Legend to see if it worked out. It's okay. I don't really like it, but it's okay. I just wanted to be able to show you guys this stuff, my positions, in a very easy way. You can see how everything I bought is down for the most part. The only thing that's not really down crazy is going to be this Tim one right here. But my Vary is down 22%, my Sound is down 16%, my CMO is down 11%, QBTS down 23%, OSS 19%, KN is only down 6%, that's not bad. InnoData is down 15%, Big Bear Eye is down 20%, and AMBA is down 8%. Again, Am I disappointed and stuff like that? No, because I'm dollar cost averaging. I told you guys I had like $100 every month or so to this, and I already have the other $100 ready to go in there. I think if you look at my purchasing power, if it doesn't short here, oh, I gotta drag this thing down. Yeah, buying power, $100.86. I got my money ready to double down into this stuff because I'm gonna be holding this stuff for a while. But this Tim one here, interval 5 minutes. No, I just want day interval. Oh, I don't like this layout at all. There you go. Pretty much been going sideways since we bought it here, so nothing too crazy since we opened up the price here. But go over here to the weekly. All right, we're buying at a nice low. Everything else we bought, we're buying at these crazy highs, like Big Bear AI weekly. We bought at this little peak up here, so I'm fine to let this sit for a while. But we're going to be dollar cost averaging into this for quite a bit of time, so bear with me as you kind of see if I lose money or make money on these types of trades. I'm banking on making money, but again, I'm gonna have to hold for a while, and most people don't like to hold for let alone a week, right? Trading fees kill me. Yeah, waiting for the fart coin explosion within 2 months. Yeah, trading fees will always, it always hurts. With me, when it comes to trading fees, the only thing I could recommend doing is, and I don't even recommend doing it though, you would have to put enough money onto an exchange for them to give you some type of private deal. So like, if you guys ever had a large amount of money you guys wanted to move onto a cryptocurrency exchange, and you wanted to go into that cryptocurrency exchange already having some type of VIP deal where your fees are cheaper than everybody else, I could help you with that. But like, most people don't do that, right? But if you ever needed to, let me know. But it just depends on how much you trade. That's really what it is. The way that I found that people can get around some of the fees is by doing a lot of scalping a few times a month, where they scalp large amounts of money and they make a little bit of profit off it, like, because the fees are going to eat it up a lot of profit, right? Make a little bit of profit off it, but that makes your trading volume go up so high that you're eligible for the VIPs, and therefore your fees become cheaper. That to me is too risky, so I don't really recommend it. That's the only way I've actually seen people really get around that type of stuff. Fees are going to be expensive. Well, it just depends on how much you trade and how much leverage you use, but yeah, fees are going to be rough. Have I lost weight? I have been losing weight. Yeah, so it's been good here so far. It's been like a confidence booster for everyday life and stuff like that. Yesterday I was at the gym for I think it was like 90 minutes or something like that. I went to the gym today for a little bit of a light workout, but yesterday I messed up my electrolytes so much by working out so hard without taking anything that I ended up just taking my electrolytes when I got back to the house, my magnesium, potassium, my powders and stuff like that, and I just crashed on the bed and fell asleep. I was just gone. But it is what it is. I'll usually have some salt I'll sprinkle into my water too. But yeah, I've been losing weight. It's been pretty good. Because, you know, part of me with this stuff is it's just been like, oh my God, like, let's figure out what's going on here. At this point, Bitcoin looks like it's entering into a bearish market. We're not, like, I know some people thought we were going to be in the 70,000 range this weekend. We're not there. We're not like in a catastrophic mode, but we are in something more of a slow grind. Like when you're looking at Bitcoin and what's been happening here, let's maybe say you go to the weekly chart, right? What's interesting is we're probably going to have something of a mix of this bear market and this bear market fused together, and that'll be what we get over here. Some people say we're just going to have this. Some people say we're looking at something more like just because they're going to have a big bull move. I think it's going to be something like it, but I think it's just gonna be a little bit longer here, just a little bit longer than we're expecting, and then we'll have a reason to kind of build back up. I don't see what the catalyst is that is going to come back and save us. That's my concern. We don't really have low interest rates right now. I believe after May, when Jerome Powell steps aside, we're going to have somebody that's kind of new and innovative that understands the market and which way we're kind of heading. They may be able to cut rates at a faster clip, which will be overall pretty fantastic for us, but are they gonna help everyday Americans get more money? You could almost say that most people were too poor to take advantage of this bull market that we had, right? Back when we had the best opportunity to buy Bitcoin and make money years down the road, we had the highest inflation in years. The government spent too much money. It was like a lot of mismanagement. Biden just wasn't up to the task, but you can't really just blame him. It was like government as a whole, right? And then when everything was crashing and burning and people had the opportunity to buy, specifically down here, you know, they had no money because they had to really spend everything on food and gas and just the bare essentials, the bare necessities. You know, so they eventually helped us out in this rally and stuff like that. But like I told you guys before, when I was buying up stuff over here, I first started to sell my Bitcoin at $80,000 right over here. All right. Then I sold some over here when we got rejected. Then I sold some over here when we were dipping down. Then I sold some over here when we got back up to resistance. Then I sold some over here. Then I sold a little bit over here as we were crashing back down, right? But if you kind of just like take all of that out, I bought my Bitcoin down here. And on average, I sold my Bitcoin right here. Right? So that's not bad. My thing is, I'm still hoping we can go a little bit higher so I can sell some Bitcoin up here. That's the good stuff. And I was looking through one of my older videos and stuff like that. Funny enough, I thought that the Bitcoin bull market was probably going to end around $120,000 way back over here when we were talking about it. But you guys convinced me that was probably going to be somewhere closer to like 180 to 200,000 bucks because I kept on listening to all those damn CNBC people. But like right now, what's interesting is if you were to pull this back a little bit, let's go to the monthly chart, I suppose, just so you can see everything going on here. Let's go to the magnets here. Some of these long-term pitchforks. All right. They work a little bit, you know, just enough to keep us interested in them, I would say. There is a little bit of support matching up right here. This is the modded shift. No, this is the regular shift. What's the modded shift look like? Oh, we're breaking down, yeah, a little bit more. Might see they're back to February, yeah. This one's not as accurate though, so let's skip that one. We might have to do something a little bit closer to now. Yeah, we finally broke down from this one. We held it for that one. Closed down below it here, but didn't break down below it. Okay. Yeah, we might be coming all the way back down for like at least another month of bearishness, back down to like $75,000, $76,000. And then see if we can bounce off from there. But let me pull this back just a tad more. Doesn't seem long-term enough for me. No, this one's totally out of whack. This one's totally out of whack. Yeah, this one's totally out of whack. Ah, shit. Oh, well. Yeah, I like the ratios. I like a lot of the Fibonacci levels. Right now, the only ones I think the majority of people are using are just the simple ones, like the Fibonacci retracements. Like you can go back from the lows to the highs over here. Let me stretch this out to the right-hand side so you guys can see. So there's one right here. Let's go to the daily chart. You can see so far, we held for a few days. Now we're bouncing off the second one. We had talked about this last week, but we just kind of broke through it and now we're bouncing. So it's a little bit sketchier, but we are bouncing off of it technically right now. Led to a little bit of a spike last time before ultimately breaking back down. but there's your opportunity, right? If you're going off of the Fibonacci's, if you're just going off Fibonacci's. The next one that we're going to see is all the way down here around $71,000. But usually people like to go for a range, right? It's usually a range. Like if you go back over here and say, hey, what was happening back over there? We didn't fall and hit right there. We were in this range down here. We managed to have a reversal. But let me put this back over here. Let's move this down a little bit. Typically what you can do is also go over here and do fib levels based on log scale, make it a little bit longer distance. And you can see we also have the support level down here around 77,000. I'm not going after that one just yet, but the first one that we were looking at seemed to be working out pretty well for us. All right. And then trend lines are good. Okay. There we go. All right. That's the one I've been seeing a lot of people use, and for good reason, right? If everybody's using the same one, you're going to see a lot of people buying around the same time. It's kind of that's what they call the animal spirits. Everybody sees the exact same thing. Oh, let's collectively let's buy right now. And then you start to see the buyers have more confidence. You see the short sellers saying, oh man, we're building a level of support at this Fibonacci support level. Okay, it's time for me to sell. Everybody just kind of transitions from, okay, the short sellers take their profits, the buyers come in for an opportunity, and then we just kind of flip the rotation for a few days, few weeks, and see what happens after that. Can't AI just do all of this? Oh yeah. Gonna have to call you some other big market. Yeah, right. Yeah, AI can do a lot of this stuff for you guys. It's just that a lot of people don't like the way AI looks. I mean, like, I don't know about AI always, but there's going to be more AI products coming out. I believe Lux Algo is coming out with one here pretty soon. Oh, Lux Algo. I have a link for Lux Algo as well if you guys want to support the channel. But I believe, yeah, the #1 agent to find strategies powered by the best trading indicators by 15,000 traders, right? So now they have an agent for it. Right, so now I can talk to an AI and say, hey, I'm looking for a trading strategy built off of this. This is kind of what I do, but I'm slower because I'm human. But this is why I come up with all these random strategies that seem to work for some tokens but not others. Or if they work for Bitcoin, you can kind of buy other tokens because if Bitcoin goes up, the other token should go up in theory. All that type of stuff. But excuse me, guys, I'm drinking too much water. Like, I pay for premium. Oh, store, that's new. Oh, you can buy indicators? Oh my god, don't ever buy indicators. There's no reason to buy indicators. Like that. Trending, trend duration forecast, chart prime, no. Purchased, I haven't purchased anything. I forget what it was called. Maybe if I go to favorites. All chart patterns. Maybe it was all chart patterns. Yeah, this is one from TradingView where it automatically puts all the patterns onto your chart. No, price targets all. And so you can go like a 15-minute chart. Again, you would be looking at other stuff besides this, but you can see how there's just so much stuff going on. And you can see how there's a breakdown, but it would have a target right here. Right, status failed. Well, because of how I've kind of explained how trading works out, we know that there was momentum shift way back over, way over yonder, where you started to see a little bit more of a bullishness as far as the MACD and the stochastic on the 4-hour charts. Therefore, any shorting during this time frame would not be allowed because it usually doesn't work in your benefit. There, all right. See how the momentum is shifting right here. You have the stochastic on our side giving bullish signals way back on Friday, 12 p.m. Right. See the shift with the MACD, and you see the full-on everything is doing well. So when you have all these shorting opportunities, like right here, or right here, or right here, or right here, you're not taking those. Even though this one might have worked, this one might have worked for a little bit. You're not taking those because, hey, the momentum is going against you. It's not going to really be a lucrative trade. Now, if you wanted to do this trade and say, hey, I walked away with 0.9%. With a 10x trade, you could make 10% off of that perfectly fine, but usually you're looking for something a little bit more. This entire thing was pretty much bearish right there, right? This was Friday, 12:15. Friday, 12:15. See how the momentum on the RSI and the stochastic had already shifted? When 2 out of 3, usually not going to do that. So you always have to add so much more onto your basic technical analysis, which really sucks because it usually requires more than one chart. But, you know, I think it stops you from making bad trades. And if you're not making bad trades, you're only making good trades. It may be slowly, but at least your portfolio goes higher, right? Yeah, it feels like there's a glitch or something happening right now with my camera. It wasn't working all of like 10 minutes before the stream, so I had to reset my computer. I think I need to get a new HDMI cord or something for it. Sarcastic, good AI term. Yeah. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff going on right now. Let me see, pull this back right now. One little thing I wanted to tell you guys about. I got a little bit of not a cold or something, but somebody got me a drink the other night. A friend, and got me like a White Russian with cream or something like that. My throat hates cream. Like, I just don't like it. So it just sticks in my throat for a couple days. Stick to tequila. All right. Now, two things here. First, everybody on X has an idea of what's going on here, right? 2024 to 2025, 2020 to 2021. So this larger move right here. And all of a sudden we're going to be going big again. If history repeats again, this guy, everybody had said we were going to be blowing up right now. That's just the way it is. A lot of people were wrong. I guess that's why we have to scale up, because nobody ever knows exactly what's going to happen, right? Bitcoin is close to its second consecutive weekly candle below the EMA 50 level. In 2018 and 2022, this resulted in another 50% dump. The only way Bitcoin won't dump is if the 4-year cycle is dead. There is an opportunity for that, I think you could say. But that really depends on how much Wall Street is willing to dump Bitcoin and how quickly. Are they willing to hold on to it through the volatility, or are they going to dump like everybody else? Are they going to buy the volatility, or are they going to dump like everybody else? That's a huge question. Whenever we see something like the NASDAQ, you know, have those really nasty moves, like the NASDAQ has death crosses all the time, right? I think there was a death cross here. Was there a death cross? Whew. Hard to say, but I can't, honestly, I can't tell. We might have had a death cross for that one. But there's plenty of times where the NASDAQ has dropped, like for example here. I know this is not a single stock or whatever, but still. The NASDAQ dropped 26%, and in 48 days, back in April. Back over here, during inflation and high interest rates, we fell down 38%, right? And we still managed to buy into that. We've had lots of fast drops like this. I'm curious to see, but until the cycle is broken, I'm going to believe the cycle is still the cycle. But just don't forget, like, people are always going to forget about Bitcoin. Remember, Meta platform. Oh, let's not go to crypto. Let's go to this one. Look how high it is now. It's doing fine. It was as high as $800 back during the 2022 crashes and whatnot. It dropped down 77.5%. Just don't forget, all right? I think there's lots of opportunities, but it may not be, like, it may be for a while. We're not going to see anything massively crazy happen with Bitcoin as far as like altcoin seasons and stuff like that. We just haven't had we haven't seen everything kind of aligned to it just yet. Nothing's really gone our way as far as that's been concerned. We've seen these smaller boosts and stuff like that, but besides that, not much at all. One and only Satoshi, right? But more Bitcoin, who cares? The last president, let's see, Bitcoin is extremely oversold. Yeah, I don't care about that. I honestly, like here, you can pull this back up for a second. Where be my oscillators? YouTube. There they are, okay. What time frame is he even using? Oh, he's using the weekly ones. Weekly ones I don't care about as much right now. The monthly ones are pretty interesting. When the monthly ones show you having bullish crossovers from the stochastic and the RSI, Ooh, baby, game is on. Right now they're both bearish, but they've been bearish a few times together here, right? Like back over here, they were both bearish. Back over here, they're both bearish. The bearish one doesn't really concern me as much because it's usually happening pretty fast because of some major thing that's happening. Like, for example, interest rate decisions because of higher inflation, right? Some crisis. But right now, everything is pointed bearish. Last time everything was pointed bearish was way back over here. If you want to go to the weekly charts and you want to be like, okay, what's happening here? Yes, it is bearish. Yes, it's bearish. We've been bearish plenty of times before. Yada, yada, yada. Pull this together. All right. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Bearish, bearish, bearish over here. I don't really care about this until we start to have something more of a crossover happening. At least when we have the crossovers happening, like right back over here, like right there, right there, right there. You post that, nice rally afterwards. Back over here, crossover, crossover for those two, right? Great opportunity even over here. Crossovers happening. Crossover, crossover, crossover. Back October 2nd, October 9th. And this one was October 23rd. So I just go to the last one, October 23rd. October 23rd is right here. So even if you bought right there with everything aligning, you know, fly, baby, fly. As far as just what it's doing right now, I mean, I understand we're in oversold territory. I understand everybody's panicking and freaking out. I know. I also understand we're hitting a Fibonacci level where we can bounce off of that sucker in a heartbeat, which is also good news for us. But as far as like, wow, I feel the need to buy and hold for months, and I believe altcoins are going to have some massive moves, I'm just not there right now. Just not there right now. But again, the one thing I've been noticing about X is everybody is getting paid to post, so that they run out of stuff to post after a while, right? I don't even pay for a check mark, so I'm not even eligible to make money off of this stuff. X to me it's okay, but yeah, it's not something I really enjoy being on all the time. Maybe TikTok has my soul. It's over now. It's over now. It's over now. It's over now. It has broken down below this point. I hope they realize that. Has broken down well below that point right there. Trying to draw some type of trend line there. No. We've been well below this trend line for a minute here. Well below the trend line here. When your $200 Bitcoin becomes 23 overnight, man, I've been there. You know, you just make a few $100, be like, man, I made a few $100 today. I feel like I want to go have a few $100 dinner. You know what I mean? Feels good. Now, I never do stuff like this. Yeah, I don't do wine tastings. If I do, I'm like the 30-year-old with all the 50 and 60 and 70 years old, and they're talking about some really fantastic stuff, and I'm like, I don't really like it. What I like is orange wine. That's why I like orange wine. A breakdown coming down in a larger move. Bitcoin is gonna pump. Yeah, see, they just get paid to make up some shit. People bought Bitcoin at 15. I'm the guy that bought Bitcoin at like $25,000. I wasn't as lucky as $15,000. It is interesting to watch all this play out, though. Damn, every time they show that face, I get freaked out. Let's see. All right. YouTube is the future? Man, wait till YouTube does some cryptocurrency stuff. That'll be absolutely insane. Now, I do Lucky Charms tasting. See, right? One thing I wanted to show you guys is my website is having a soft launch right now. It's not really designed to be like checked out by you guys in detail, but we're getting there. And I've been telling you guys for a while, I've been kind of busy with that type of stuff, so I haven't had as much time. But if you go to the cryptomanual.com, you kind of see the layout of what's going to happen. Right now, this thing is going to be replaced by like a news dashboard of all these news articles I'm going to find for you guys. If you guys didn't know what this is supposed to be, I'll scroll down a little bit more too. We're designing this to be, me and my partner, we're designing this to be Investopedia, which is this website right here. All right? But only for cryptocurrency. So this one doesn't have a ticker on top of it right now. It will. It has another version. There's like different versions of this website. But instead of being like stocks, it'll be cryptocurrency tickers, right? And so this is going to be like Investopedia of crypto. So no CDs, but we're going to have stories about the Fed because the Fed directly impacts cryptocurrencies. You know, investors just endured a brutal volatility week. What's next for the stock market? everything's gonna be the same thing, except for what's next for the cryptocurrency market. Right. So we're working on it. There's going to be lessons involved here. So how to buy your first crypto wallets explained. Trading, if you guys want to trade Coinbase versus TradingView versus Finviz, stuff like that. All the different types of things. Finviz is starting to become a little bit more crypto friendly, so that's going to be good for us as well. Luxago versus Chart Prime versus BYDFi, all the different tools and stuff that I work with here. And then we're going to have like a bunch of crypto terms. Right now, there's only a few terms in here, and we have a very base, what you would call explanation of it. Like for crypto wallet, let me go to read more, right? You see how it's just kind of small and short right now? This is a soft launch. We're just kind of testing stuff out. And the full glossary, right? We only have a few things here. Next, whatever it may be. Recovery phrase, whatever. Eventually, they're going to be a little bit longer. You can see how there's like a little bit of an overlap right here. But let me see if I can actually pull it up here. So there's like versions of this website. Most of the versions are not uploaded on here. Let me see if I go over here and I pull up the file that I have that actually shows me what the finished one will look like, because it is going to be a little bit different. But this is kind of some of the stuff I've been working on in the background. And let's see. Here you go. So this will be a part of it. This is like a page, but it's like a page you guys can't see. So this is kind of what a formal layout will look like for the Bitcoin wallet. Now I'm zooming in just a tad so you guys can see it. But Bitcoin wallet, what it is, how it works, types and security, read time 8 minutes, uplisted November 2025, right? Quick wins, like little things you want to know, basically, right? How it actually works behind the scenes, worth knowing, watch out, little warning is, all the data. Mobile wallets, web wallets, hot storage, cold storage, lock it down, security essentials, never store large amounts of Bitcoin on exchanges they frequently target for hackers, all that type of stuff. So you ask common questions. When you guys have a question, basic and do all that type of stuff, which would be pretty cool. Then related terms, seed phrase, right? Then goes on and on and on. So it'll be pretty darn cool. It's a work in progress, don't get me wrong. But I'm super excited with where it's coming out, how it's working out, and that type of stuff. Right now, I believe we have 17, 20 terms. By the end of the next year, we're going to be having around 750 to 800 cryptocurrency terms. So it'll be an extended list for sure. And then I believe on these pages, I'll probably have ads. But on the lessons, there'll probably be no ads. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. And the reason is, if I can use this website as a kind of a money maker for myself, what I'll be able to do is hire a full-on staff for my channel, which means I can give you guys more content and more just educational stuff, basically. I would love to hire a full-time editor that's quality, but I need large amounts of money for that, for the type of editor I'm looking for. So I need to do that. And if I have ads, that probably speeds up the process. And then what I can do is I'll also put my videos in there. So you see a lot of videos in this channel being like, hey, let's open up your first cold storage wallet, or whatever. Let's do this, let's do that, let's that. So it'd be pretty fun for all that type of stuff. But it's working. You can see this is just part of it, hardware wallet. This is what it is, but in reality we have another page that has all the real stuff in it. So we're just testing out everything right now, but it's coming together quite well. So I'm super excited about it. I just feel like a lot of you guys have asked me about Investopedia, and you guys are always looking for cryptocurrency terms and cryptocurrency information, but this is not designed for crypto. This is designed for old-fashioned investors, legacy investing, right? Which is not a bad thing. We all do legacy investing, right? But I don't want to worry about that type of stuff. When I want to do that type of stuff, I'll do that. But for me in cryptocurrency, I want to have all of my cryptocurrency. I want to be very detailed on the cryptocurrency, where everything here, right, latest podcast. Maybe I have a podcast, right, as far as investing and cryptocurrency and stuff like that. I would love to have a podcast, but I don't got time for that. But if I have a full-time editor helping me out, if I got somebody like a little assistant or something helping me out, oh my God, everything becomes a little bit easier, right? Just a little bit easier. We don't care about CDs here, but what they do have is Personal finance, no. Checkings, no. Where's it at? Investing. They're supposed to have a glossary in here somewhere. Glossary, games, banking. Like I said, at banking and savings account, I can have like best crypto savings accounts, right? Best checking accounts that really work with cryptocurrency exchanges. That way they don't get mad at you for moving money back and forth through cryptocurrency exchanges. But where is Investopedia glossary? See if I can find it. Yeah, financial terms dictionary, right? So they have this whole thing. Let me zoom back out. Where they have now this is numbers A, B. There's like a complete list of terms, right? So these are all the things that they have for B. Same exact thing, but it's only going to be cryptocurrency terms or terms that can relate to cryptocurrency. Like baby boomer, will I have that in there? Maybe, but there's going to be like parts of crypto in there because I only care about baby boomers in relation to crypto, right? Bayes theorem. Is this something that can help out in cryptocurrency? Maybe. If so, we'll have it in there, but maybe not, right? Blue sky laws, bond discount, bond fund, bond ETF, bonus, whatever, right? Certain things we're going to have in there, certain things we don't need to have in there. There's thousands of stuff in here. All I want for crypto is like 700 terms for now, and down the road then I'll start adding more terms in there once I have more free time. But yeah, again, the website's come along pretty well. Hey, and thanks for proximity. I appreciate you bookmarking it. And hey, I'm happy to see my man. Hope you're doing well. Bitcoin's doing okay today. I won't say it's doing great overall, but it's doing great today. If you recall, Haram, we had talked about a Fibonacci level last week. If I can pull this back up here. And we're just bouncing above it right now. And we're going to see how long it goes. Last time we hit the Fibonacci level, we bounced up right back into the 20-day moving average, then got rejected. Maybe we go a little bit higher or so. But right now, the next level of resistance happens to be around $93,000. That's not a terrible level if you're buying at $87,000, $88,000. But it's a quick in and out for those of you guys that want to hop in for this little bit of a bounce. It's fine. Altcoins are probably going to be your friend over Bitcoin. But that's your opportunity. Your stop loss, if you're buying at 87,773, whatever it is now, is basically around 84,000, 85,000. So you're really risking around $3,000, or or percentage wise, it's a little bit different because we all use leverage here, but 3-4%, 3.5%. That's what you guys are risking right now for the opportunity to make about 6%, 7%. A little bit leverage, of course, it changes up a little bit things, but yeah, it's not too bad. Nice try, Diddy. I know, right? There's always going to be spammers, guys. I can't help it at this point. There's just so many spammers these days. If you go to any one of my videos right now, I just posted that video about the Black Friday sale for TradingView, right? And you guys go over here to comments. Oh, there's no comments on it yet? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. There are no comments on it yet. Maybe. Oh wow, okay. They haven't seen it yet. I guess maybe I put up a short this morning, perhaps 22, just 23rd, maybe since yesterday. Yeah, Exorophorum. I can't pronounce it, but yeah, this one is tons and tons of spam comments. All of these are spam comments. All of these spam comments. This is a spam comment with 127 likes. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But yeah, there's just so much spam these days. There's no way I can see people getting out of it. And it's Toshi, happy to see you. Bubba. Shit. I heard the Bubba story from the Epstein files. That's freaking insane. Driving at the moment, good algorithm. Yeah, appreciate it. Let's see. We're so back. Hey, if the bots are here, Bitcoin's coming back. Must be. I mean, let's look down the list here. Let's go over to maybe the 1 hour chart so far. You can see Bitcoin's having a small reversal right now. Nothing crazy. We've been here before, like I said, where we got bounced back up to the 20-day moving average, got rejected, but we are seeing a little bit of a reversal. Everything else, though, Ethereum isn't moving as high as Bitcoin. This is an extension one, so we don't have to worry about this one right now, but Solana's doing a little bit better, more like Bitcoin. Dogecoin's at 5%, looking pretty nice right now, bouncing off a level of support. You know, Dogecoin is going to be in some pain for a while. I'd be very careful with Dogecoin and a bunch of other stuff. Trump token, again, falling after having a really nice rebound, I might say, but not doing great now. Millennium back to where it started, WIF coming down even further, bonk, right? Small gains after horrible, horrible months and months and months. Not enough for me to really get involved with many of these tokens right now. I took a little bit of flack from saying I sold, like 50% of my altcoins over the last few weeks. But, you know, I think I'm somewhat justified. just somewhat justified. Because, you know, I don't want to sell them. I don't want to, like, lose faith in a lot of stuff. But I'm just like, man, this market is not what I really need to be invested in right now. As far as, like, the high-risk meme coins. Remember, the high-risk meme coins are only going to be, like, 10 to 20% of your overall portfolio. So if they do crash and burn, it sucks, right? But at least you have your Bitcoin that made you money, your Ethereum, your Solana, your Trons, your XRPs and stuff like that. Finally, XRP made people some money this cycle. That was some good news there. Ape token, Arbitrum, yeah, everything's just really coming down a little bit here. Hawk Tour coin, man, what? I don't even know what happened to Hawk Tour coin. Is it even still on HawkFi? Hawk Tour over here. I don't know if it's still even alive. I can't tell which one's real and which one's not. What's that girl's name? Hawk Tour girl. I met her in person and she was not a nice person. I remember that. Yeah. Why can't I copy this? Oh, because I didn't highlight it. Okay, there we go. Now she has all these modeling posters and stuff of her. She still has 2.3 million followers. YouTube. Okay, talk to her with Helly Welsh. I don't know if it's still going on. There's that one. And then there's Helly Welsh X account. This account does not exist. Oh. Octour girl. Parody account. Okay. Her account get taken down? Parody, Encoma. Talk to her with Haley Welsh. 2 following. Who's she following? Oh no. Hasn't posted since May. She's gonna be a mean old lady when she grows up. I could already tell from her look. So she doesn't have an X. I wanted to use the link. She donates all of her Twitch profits to puppies? Oh, interesting. You have mod on her Twitch? Oh, maybe I did catch her on a bad day then. It's always nice to hear people say something else, because I met her and she was not happy. She was just not, no, she was so mean. I was just like, nope. Saw her in, we were both in the VIP section for, Karate Combat down in Nashville a couple years ago, before all this stuff hit up. Live. She streamed 5 days ago. 3,000 people. That's more than me, right? Chatting, hanging with Haley. So she hasn't been doing much, it looks like. Videos. Oh, she still hasn't posted like in 6 months, yeah. Well, let me see. Let me go to talk to a pod. And what's the Let's see. She lost 2,000 subscribers over the last 30 days. 150,000 views for last year. People are still watching her channel. And I think that's because she's been doing those live streams, right? Yeah, those live streams have been kicking in there. Taking down videos, adding some videos up there. Yeah, she's not making any money off of it, though. That's... Maybe she got a brand deal or something. Monthly views, that's back in November. Oh, yeah, her channel's died off. It happens. I mean, my channel's pretty much died off. Who am I saying, right? Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard about her in a long time. Heard about her in a long time. Cowboys are still losing to Eagles. That's good. Browns beating the Raiders. That's good. Cardinals beating the Jaguars. That's a surprise. Falcons to the Saints. There you go. All right. Some games still rolling on through the day. There's a little bit. You gotta have those football updates, right? XRP's up a little bit. Even XRP looks abysmal, right? Now XRP, it looks great if you guys bought it back in 2022. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'm happy I shaved off a good amount of that stuff. GTC. Oddly enough, the most reaction I got, besides selling my just altcoins in general, a lot of XRP lovers did not like me selling my XRP. That was a surprise. Pendle coming down a little bit to support. XLM is up 8% today, but still looks like that. XLM has an opportunity if you guys want to see if we could hold support. That may be something. Last time we broke out, though, it wasn't that good. If I see back over here, what do you call? We had everything kind of aligning, and then all of a sudden, boom, tariffs. And that's all. That's all she wrote. Then when we didn't have tariffs, you can see it was a really nice rally after that. But it was like a 1 month type of thing, 1 week type of thing, so not fantastic. Total 3 still coming down overall, week over week. RNDR, yeah. Crow. Yeah, poor Crow. How are my exchange tokens doing? I hold WXT, which is the week's token. Yeah, it's come down quite a bit. Come down quite a bit after all that. Hoping this thing recovers. Back in the day, I bought the BitGet token, and it really went well during the bear markets. So I'm gonna give this more time here. But that's something I've been dollar cost averaging. How's BGB doing? I still have a little teeny bit of it, but not much because I don't have a BitGet account anymore. Yeah, this one's fallen like a rock too. But again, this is back during 2022 and everything was crazy. Nasty dips. All of a sudden, whew, we keep on going. I'm hoping for the best there. Only other one, you know, that most people own is going to be the BNB. And this one's been coming down a little bit too here. Bearishness across the board last time with the bearishness. Yeah, we did die down for a little bit. Whew. There you go. Push this back. All right. Boom. But if you guys want to go over a certain token or something like that, let me know. I'm going to be chilling here for a while. I'm really trying to do some of these longer term streams again now that I got my free time back. But if you guys want to know about any particular coin, any big news that's been going on, feel free. I'm always happy to talk with you guys. She also streams with the schedule. Oh, especially if she does Patriots one. I believe the Patriots one. Yeah. As far as the games are concerned, yeah, they beat Bengals. Yeah, they beat the Bengals. Yeah. I have a friend who's a massive Bengals fan. I was laughing a little bit when they beat the Bengals. But the Patriots have been doing pretty well today. Sorry, it's getting cold in here. I'm putting my blanket on. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the Raiders are losing a bit. Yeah, besides that, there's no real major surprises here. Cardinals and Jaguars should be a good one. Everything else is more of a meh type of thing, right? Let me push this aside just a tad bit here. Stick with this one. I am happy that we're bouncing off support. I don't know how powerful this bounce is going to be. I would expect it to only last for a few days, but it may give us a little bit of hope. I would just warn you guys of trying to buy into this bounce, hoping that we just go skyrocketing back. There's an opportunity to do that, but if you want to do that, you're buying right now, you're having your stop loss around 84,000, you're scaling out at least once around 93,000, 92,500, and then you're letting the rest of it ride to see what happens. Because if we get up to that level, I might have a stop loss on my trade around $88,000, so I still walk away with a profit if I bought now. So no matter what happens, and we go up, I'm walking away with a profit altogether. But then you gotta wait, see if it hooks back around and has that larger move. That's a little bit more difficult. You know, usually what's been said here and everywhere is when we have that death cross, usually Bitcoin is gonna bottom around that time, right? We had the death cross way back over here. It's we're still having some trouble finding that bottom, but you know, it is what it is right now. I think it's, if you guys are on the more aggressive side, you guys have a little bit of your portfolio specifically designed for these types of aggressive trades, I think there's the opportunity there. The more safer trade is to buy right now and try to sell. What you buy 87,900 and you are looking to sell around 92,500. That's kind of the easy in and out type of trade right now. If you guys are looking for something a little bit more difficult, that's where you could buy right now, still scale out. Instead of selling everything at that level, you scale out, then you hold for a while and see if it decides to go up a little bit higher, because at that point maybe we start getting back up here towards $100,000, or maybe what we get back up to is probably whatever the 50 week moving average is by the time we come back up to it, which means somewhere around $100,000. All right. So you know, we're looking okay right now. I believe going into next week, though, it's all going to be about stabilization and seeing if we can hold on to the support and then bounce up. Otherwise, you're going to see Bitcoin actually do something really terrible going into the holidays, which means we're going to plummet back down here towards the 70s and then try to make a large return move. And then we're going to get boring for a while before we have another breakout. We're going to get extremely boring where it's choppy, we're booming every now and again, but there's no real action that gets you really energized to be loading up on altcoins, loading up on those large caps. It's mostly going to be a trader's market, which, I mean, for traders like me and some of you guys, it's fine. But for those who want to see Bitcoin just go up week after week, oh, it's going to be an abysmal time out there. Bottom to top, yep. Bottom to top. Oh, is that what she calls for thing? That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't been doing too much as far as following other influencers out there. I have been looking at Benjamin Cohen's tweets and his videos, though. He's been pretty much the North Star so far, so he's always a good guy. So his Benjamin, I mean, yeah, he's over 1 million followers, right? Talking about the unemployment rate. Free ITC newsletter is out in your inbox. I'm Woody calling. I need to make myself a newsletter. That's what I'm doing with my website here. Navigating the Bitcoin bear market. He's been posting up some videos and stuff like that. But what I really like about him is not necessarily his main pages and stuff like that. What I really like is if you go over to his account and you go over to replies, this is where I think he shines, right? If he starts replying and doing stuff like this. All sorts of narratives will circulate. Bear markets are normal. Bitcoin is always topped in Q4 with a post-halving year, and then bottom approximately 1 year later. Trade the market you have, not the market you want. And Aztec Lit VR M Seer says just another 30-40% correction. We have multiple of these every cycle into Cryptoverse. It's healthy and will lead to the next leg of the super cycle. I wish, but history tends to say otherwise, right? Everybody wishes we were going to go higher, but right now it hasn't been working out in that favor, right? What this is he posted this since November 20th. We're not used to seeing a 40% correction. We're seeing 20 to 30% corrections, not the 40% corrections. Right? I do wonder how MicroStrategy is going to do. Tom Lee and his company, I don't even know if they're going to survive. I was thinking about buying some of his, was it Bitwise, Bitmain, whatever it's called? Tom Lee Ethereum. What's that? Yeah, here it is. Bitmine. Bitmine emergence sitting on a $4 billion loss on Ethereum bets as analysts warns of structural issues. Tom Lee's companies could trap shareholders amid low staking yields, hefty embedded fees, and vanishing NAV premium. 10x researcher found in Marcus Thielen warns, right? Bitmine immersion is sitting on top of unrealized losses on its Ethereum holdings as crypto prices plunge. The crazy thing for this guy is I don't know why he bought at all-time highs. You would have wanted to start this up when the market was burning and like crashing hard. I think he just wanted to be first, but man, it's rough. The company reports $328 million in profit for fiscal year 2025, but it faces structural issues. 10x research Marcus Thielen warned. Basically, they're making money off of the fees, but the investment they hold is not making money, the underlying investment. Well, I mean, let's see. We haven't actually really checked this company out. Yeah, that's not looking too good. So this was it was probably a SPAC a long time ago, which is why it looks like this and just looks freaking horrible. I don't know why this didn't open up something new, but regulations are regulations. And you can see the moment they went live, a massive pop from $4 all the way up to 163. Great. And then, yeah, it's come back down almost like a short squeeze that never ends. Does BitMine have options though? I think it probably does. Black Swan sale 50% off late. Okay. I do have an affiliate link for this if you guys want to join that too, but I don't think many of you guys use Finviz the way I use it. Now, BMNR. There we go. Yeah, BitMine Immersion Technologies. Optionable, yeah. So you can do options on this. So if you think Ethereum can hold up pretty well over the next few days, you might want to do some options for a high risk type of trade if you guys don't like leverage. But BitMine ramps up Ethereum buying with $60 million purchase. Oh God, I don't know. Anybody selling off assets? So Lee, he ended up buying some back in July. He bought for $4.50, a lot of it. Spent around $1 million each on that, so $4.50. Of course, he bought in really low before everything blew up. And at least he's at 26 bucks, so he still made money. He didn't sell anything at $161, but he was stacking in cash back then. And the last time he bought was back July for $44 average cost, $4,500. That was only $200,000. So, oh, so he's at a loss in that $44 one though. Proposed sale at 47, 55, 55, 37. Relationship none. Other affiliate chief executive officer, CEO. Proposed sale though. It even has their address on here. The Brokers and Avenue. Must have some nice houses though. So the gross proceed, yeah, he made a bunch of money. Oh, you see this exact amount of money, then it goes straight to it, right? What is that? 78, 700, 6,000, 36,000, 136,000. So he made about $10 million. Not bad. Not bad. If you're the one selling it, you know, when it's higher, you're not bad at all right here. Live test file. Wow, that's interesting right there. So where's the broker though? So let me see. USB security. Oh, USB securities. Yeah. Let's see if I can pull this up right here. Oh yeah, that's an old institutional building right there. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And there's a Sony store in there? Yeah, these guys know what they're doing. Oh, poor Amazon guy. Oh dear Lord. I feel bad for those guys that have to work in the city. And it's right by a park. Oh yeah, yeah, these people got money. Definitely got money. Oh, let's see. They even got the phone numbers, yeah. Yeah, Jonathan. Made a killing off this stuff. That's absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. And hey, Walter, just happy to see my man. What I missed? You didn't miss too much. We basically been talking about all the stuff going on with the cryptocurrency markets, the good and the bad news. Right now, Loki got super excited for some reason. He's looking for another trade. I'll give him one here in a second. What's been interesting is Bitcoin right now is hitting a level of support. I don't know. Oh, is it this one? There we go. We're bouncing off that Fibonacci level we had talked about last week, and we're trying to hold it. If you guys are looking for an opportunity, there's going to be some animal spirits at work where everybody's looking at the same Fibonacci level. Everybody's going to be buying the same level, and we might be able to come back up to the 20-day moving average. So if you guys wanted to buy right now for an opportunity to do that, you guys can go for it. Your stop loss is basically going to be the Fibonacci level or the opening part of the candle from today. It's a high risk trade. A lot of people are going to see it's worth it. If you guys are thinking we finally found the bottom here, we're not going to dip anymore, you guys can buy right now with a little bit more aggressive, or I would say more casual stop loss. So if you're buying at $87,000, $88,000 right now, you can have a stop loss all the way down like $80,000, $82,000, and then see if over the next few weeks we manage to get back above $100,000 or so. Then you can start scaling out at $100,000, $102,000, $105,000. Take your profit and run. But right now, definitely a little bit, still not enough for me to want to go into it. And I will say that right now, back over here to Bitcoin. Right now, all the day trading that I normally do is kind of off the table, because even though we're seeing some bearish momentum and bearish change of characters on the daily chart, it's not enough because we're seeing bullish momentum being built off of the 4-hour chart. So while we still have that bullish 4-hour momentum, it's kind of just, okay, let's wait for everything to start going bearish altogether or everything going bullish altogether, and then we can kind of trade those together. But right now we're not seeing that. We're just seeing some bullishness there, some bearishness there, and it's not enough for me to be like, oh yeah, there's like a 80-90% chance I'm about to make some money off of this trade, therefore I'm buying. As far as day trading is concerned. If you want to swing trade, we just talked about the buying of support, having a stop loss a few percent lower. I think it's like 3.5% lower, and you're looking for around 9-10% profit off of that. Not terrible, not great. Well, actually, I would say it's pretty darn good. It's just high risk because the overall momentum is still down. But if we open up the market tomorrow and everything's looking pretty good, you may see Bitcoin have another jolt here because it is very much oversold and people are looking for an excuse to buy back into it. I just don't believe the excuse is going to last for a very long period of time. All right. New York baby Bryant. Oh, I don't know. I don't know who Bryant is, but hello, I see you, boy. Yeah, but I don't know much about New York at all. I don't know much about New York at all here. Let me see, pull back a little bit more here. Because, yeah, I mean, the trick right now for Bitcoin is, can we get back up here over the next few days and try to have a pretty fast reversal? I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, I could be wrong about that. In the short term, though, if you wanted to try to make some money in an aggressive fashion, you'd be buying right now. Your stop loss right here. Price target 1 would be right around $93,000. I'd go right below it to like 92,800 or something like that, just to, you know, make sure you're able to lock any profits in case there's something bad that happens. And then afterwards, you'd have to be aware of what the 20-day moving average is doing by the time you make it up there, right? I'd be more concerned with that than this level of resistance right there. But whatever one comes first is the one I'm going to be selling at. Now, if you want to be more aggressive, Wilder, you wait. You say, okay, buy right here. My stop loss is a little bit lower. And then I do it, my first scale out right here. And then I wait to see if we can get back above the 20-day moving average. And if we can, then we start going up a little bit higher to maybe $99,000, $100,000. But the aggressiveness of this is a lot because on the weekly charts, we'd only maybe run back up to the 50-week moving average. I think the last time we broke down below this, that's what we ran up against. Yeah, we broke down here, we ran back up against it, and then we came back down all the way. The only thing is we managed to break back above it, which is some pretty good news. I believe we were having some Fed news around that time as well, talking about no more rate cuts or something, or no. Maybe like a pause to rates or something. I forget exactly what the news was. But it's not like back over here we were breaking down below it, bouncing back above, breaking down below it, then breaking down below it again. 2 weeks, that's all she wrote, right? 2 weeks is all she wrote, and we had a really miserable time. This one was 1 week, we managed to bounce back off of it. 1 week, COVID. This is a little bit different, so I just will never know. This one, bounce, right? So I'm more of the opinion, like saying, hey, I'm just gonna stick to day trading for right now. I already have enough of the long-term cryptos and things of that nature. If Bitcoin continues to get bearish, you guys know the plan. It's pretty darn simple. Wait for Bitcoin to go down below the 150-week moving average. You buy below this level, which we are getting pretty close to already. You get below this level, dollar cost average, get back above it. Woo! We're off to the heavens, right? So don't be afraid of just getting ready to do some dollar cost averaging. That usually is a good opportunity for most investors who don't have a lot of money, but still want to be able to buy and hold for a year, hold for a few months, hold for a few years, whatever, and know that when they, come back in a few years, they've made some good money and profits. And hey, J-Mark, happy to see you. But you thinking we're still going to crash in 2026? I'm waiting to buy. I don't know if it's going to be a crash as much as a gradual, boring drop. That's what it kind of feels like. Like, when I'm looking at it right now, the economy isn't in absolute free fall. So it kind of reminds me back of this, where we were coming down before COVID, of course. We were coming down. It was not fun, but you can consider that crashing, I suppose, because the drawback was pretty intense from the highs. Yeah, it was like 54%. That's pretty nasty. So I could see that working out in your favor. But in terms of, like, if you just want to buy a dip right now, that you have a buying zone right here. I would expect the buying zone that I really care about, if we start having something of a nastier bear market, would be something less right here. I'd start buying aggressively if we start breaking down below $66,000. I know we have that the 150 weekly moving average, but that's pretty darn close. I mean, that level right now is at 65,176. It's pretty darn close. Typically, Bitcoin rises so fast and violently that we're not even close, right? We're not even close to it until we really go sideways for months and months and months, like basically over a year, and then we start dropping back down to it. This time, we've been going up for so long, and it's been kind of a weird long-term grind that it's been able to catch up well before its normal time. Normal would be going to the heavens, like 170,000, 80,000, whatever, and then it would still be here, and then we'd have to crash down and kind of meet it. We're not seeing that this cycle, so as soon as we start breaking down below that, I'm gonna be buying up a load of stuff, and it's gonna be absolutely amazing. Supporting Legend Day. Yeah, I appreciate you guys when you guys have memberships. I appreciate you guys a lot. That's why I made them only like $1.99 or something like that. I don't want you guys to have to pay for a bunch of stuff. Those other ones, if you guys want to support, but I don't think there's a really massive need for it. Only thing that's different is right now we got these bots coming back. When did these bots start coming back here? Did you purchase the AI pre-sale? I'm like, come on now. A lot of spam happening nowadays, and I don't know why. I think YouTube's just getting overwhelmed, especially with AI coming, there's just too much of it, way too much of it. I was trying to find some news for today, let me go back over here to CNBC. There wasn't really much. Now again, this is Sunday, right? Dow futures rise 200 points as market attempts to rebound into the holiday week. Oh shit, it's Thanksgiving coming up too. Thanksgiving week. I haven't done anything for Thanksgiving. It's okay. I don't really plan on doing much for Thanksgiving. U.S. hails progress in Russia-Ukraine peace talks, but security questions remain unresolved. Man, at this point with Russia, I'm okay if we just leave them to Russia. I don't care anymore. Like, I think I'm a pretty practical man as far as the Russia-Ukraine stuff. I think we're going to end up giving territory to Russia in order for them to stop invading. They will grind this out. They will throw millions of people to die in this needless war because they have the ability to do so, and that's just the way Russia is. Ukraine, we can only give them so much money, and I guess they just had a massive corruption scandal. Surprise, surprise. I'm okay if we stop giving aid to Ukraine 100%. If we give that burden over to Europe and they want to continue it, go for it. Go for it. I just don't see the need for us to get involved anymore. If they say no to this deal. If they say no to this deal. Because I'm like, yeah, it's just, oh God, no, I don't care about it anymore. It's been so long, guys. It's been so freaking long. Besson believes there won't be a recession in 2026, but says some sectors are challenged. Trump administration unresponsive after container ship fire. Port Los Angeles chief says Microsoft faces uphill climb. 6 are high with shutdown over. Airlines predict record number of travelers for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I ain't doing no traveling for Thanksgiving. What? Coles reportedly plans to name Michael Bender as permanent CEO. Americans are holding on to devices longer than ever and it's costing the economy. It's costing billionaires money that we don't give a fuck about. Like, they'll be fine. I have a, hold on. What's the newest iPhone they got right now? iPhone 17, right? Now I can upgrade to this for free, I believe, with my AT&T plan because I get like I pay $5 every month for it, and I still haven't updated to it. I think I might get the next one after that, but I think you just go to what your phone settings. You go to general and about I have an iPhone 15, so I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max, right? With a lot of space still left on it. I don't see the need to get all the newest phones and stuff like that. Maybe the iPhone 18 Pro Max, I'll be good. Wait, what is the iPhone Pro Max? I don't even see it on here. All I see is the iPhone 17 Pro. I think Loki sees a coward because I hear him barking, and as you guys know, Loki does not bark. Compare iPhone designs. Here we go. No, I don't see Pro. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just dropped into the Max part because they felt it was too much. Who knows? But I don't feel the need to get a new iPhone. I really don't. I use iPhones for work. I don't use it for that much other stuff anymore. But that's just me. The next iPhone will be a flip phone. If it is, I will not buy it. I don't like flip phones. I used to have a flip phone for work. I used to work for a company in downtown Seattle that gave me a cell phone stipend, and it was like $120 every month for a cell phone stipend. And I was like, do I get to keep the whole $120 a month? He's like, yeah, you can keep the whole $20 a month. You can either use it, you can either just keep it and not buy a second phone and just use your work phone as your personal phone, or you can get another phone just for work, going through your cellular company. And I was like, okay, I do want to have a work phone that I just answer people for, right? So I got myself like a nice cheap flip phone. And boom, work like a charm. Pull it out on the bus or the train, boom. And I'd be on my iPhone playing a video game, on the phone talking. Great. Cell phone stipends. Oh man, corporate America has its perks. They just work you very hard. iPhone, yuck, I know, right? Android's the way. The last Android that I had, I used to be an Android person, but I got fed up with Android after the phones were exploding because I had so many phones. They're like, here's a new phone. Oh, this one's not good. Here's a new phone. This one's not. I just okay, I'm just getting iPhone. I think it was the Android Note something Pro. I had like a stylus and everything. I love that phone. But apparently the batteries are blowing up. So that was something. Lots do get a lot of traffic, yeah. You're eating Thanksgiving with your Catholic volunteering group. Oh, that's nice. What do you call? I'll be eating with my grandparents. Maybe my uncle comes up from Portland, and then my sister, and that'll be the family all together. I do know a couple friends told me that they wanted to give me some food from their Thanksgiving, so I may take it. I'll probably get a little bit fatter for the next couple weeks to just enjoy myself, and then I'll have to hit the gym again. Well, I guess I'll be hitting the gym every day regardless, but I'll be mindful of how much I eat. Just a little mindful of how much I eat out of here. Yeah, the wing had a stylus. Yeah, oh yeah, that sounds good too. Do you do a lot of earnings tradings or not really, and why or why not? Not really. It just doesn't seem like it's really worth it. Now, if earnings are happening during the trend that I see, the bullish trend or the bearish trend that I see, then yeah, I'm kind of aware of it. Usually what I'll do is I'll scale out a little bit of the trade before the earnings actually happen. Especially if it goes up ahead of the time, I'll scale like 50% of it. And then if it does really well, then I'll just let the rest of it kind of ride up. But usually, like, let's say we're looking at something like a growth stock, because growth stocks are different from, like, you know, like the retailers like a Macy or JC Penney's and stuff like that, or a Home Depot. So like, here's Google, right? You know that I loved when momentum is shifting, right? Momentum is shifting, or you see the RSI and everything kind of moving along in the right direction. Let's say everything realigned for Google back over here May 27th, right? Bullish, bullish, bullish. Now, over here, we had a dividends payment, and over here we had earnings payment. Right? I look and I'm like, okay, level of resistance right here. And I'm looking at how we're having some trouble with some earnings, and I bought over here. I'm like, you know what? I can take some profit off right there. At that point, I've walked away with around 11% for 2 months, which is good. People might not think it is, but it is good. 11% for 2 months. Let me take half of that off. And therefore, you can see the earnings was okay. It opened up higher the next day, but we ended up coming back down for a little bit, whatever. And then you hold on for a little bit longer until you start seeing some of those bearish signs, which in this circumstance was... Okay, go back to the weekly chart for the bearish signs, though. Which was... Monday, September 29th. That was my birthday. Right over here. All right. This is actually something I did. I closed out the trade over here, and I was very happy with the move of the trade. So, you know, half of my trade gave me around 11%. The other half gave me something around 42%. If I were still holding, I'd be up 73%. You know, that's from my retirement accounts. But yeah, that's usually the way I would like to trade some of these things. You don't have to do it like that. You don't have to scale it and stuff like that. Growth stocks are a little bit easier for just holding on and kind of riding those waves. But again, you pull this back out a little bit more. Look at that. Right, this is an AI type of thing. It's not normally what we see. A lot of times you see something more like this where it's gradual, or like this type of stuff with tech, right? So I'm still trading like it's these times, like here's one where everything was bullish, bullish, bullish right here. We were at a big level of resistance, I know that, but you could buy right here, have your target price right up here. Right, you could pull this Fibonacci level right over here if you're doing something more of a shorter term swing, right? And you have this zone you're probably going to sell into. I can do that. Even though it went higher than the zone itself. As long as you don't hit your stop loss, which would have been right here. You go for the last little trough that you had. You ride that wave up. And for those few weeks, you know, you make anywhere from 7% for the 35 days, or up here if you sold in the zone, probably like 13% for the 45 days, something like that. And then again, what's interesting is you do get an opportunity to do that again right here when it got bullish again. But again, it's the same type of thing, so I would have just held because my trough didn't get stop lossed out. All right, but yeah. So there's always opportunities, but not everything is just going to be some glorious rally to the heavens because of AI and stuff like that. You go back over here again. Oh god, this sucks. There you go. There. Everything's bullish right there. You had a small level of resistance. You had a big level of resistance right here. So. So you see this move right here. That's an opportunity to buy. Plus, at the same time, you're breaking out over here, so you might have to take a few more days. But you break out, you ride the wave. It does fine. This one over here, A little bit of bullishness. You be a little bit careful here. You might even buy because the breakout, you might get stopped out a few weeks later. I might have actually taken that trade. You're seeing a little bit of bearish divergence happening here. I don't know if that'd be enough to scare me away, but there's an opportunity where like it didn't work out in my favor, right? Bullishness here, here, here. I guess that one all worked out. When was that? This is everything 17th of January. Yeah, right here. So you buy right here. You see there's a bunch of clustering. You see the longer term. You can tell the longer term charts on the monthly are going to be bearish during that time. So you're not really even doing much. Yeah, there you go. See, yeah, it's not really doing much right there. So you're a little bit more skeptical even taking that trade. But yeah, lots of opportunities. Now, it becomes more difficult if you want to go do something like a Macy's. Chart is completely different. It's the same price it was back in 1997. Completely different. So when you go over here, let me get rid of the 150 and moving average. You know. There you go. You got the bullishness right there. You got the crossover right there. You can buy right here. You have the stop loss right there. You can ride that wave up and you're fine. Also, during that time, last few months, you can see momentum was shifting a little bit in your favor. Was it a great play? It's okay because you had to take some extra risk on there, but you're dealing with the extra risk because it's not a growth company, right? So you take it, take a trough. You can double down into it down the road if you start breaking out even more. This one right here, crossover. That one was still bullish. This one was bullish right over here, so crossover right there. That one worked out in your favor. See the resistance. It got rejected from that resistance. It wasn't a downward trend anyway. So there's lots of opportunities, but I prefer the Googles, you know, the Amazons, the Apples. Even Apple hasn't been that great the last couple of years, but even Apple's fine. The Nvidias, the AMDs, those growth ones, fantastic. Metas, you know, good. These ones, they're still fine. But you might want to do more options on Macy's and maybe more just holding assets on the growth ones, unless you want to do options on those too, which is fine. The premiums aren't usually too expensive. Only ones I've seen premiums be very expensive for is usually something like a Tesla, and that's because Tesla's just insane. There's so much like fanfare on that shit that people get super excited about it. There we go. All right, but yeah, it's not terrible. You just, again, you have to wait for those buying opportunities. So if you miss it, you can kind of like, if you miss that trade of Google going higher and you don't buy and you're not holding for those few weeks, whether it's a few weeks to a few months, whatever, you can still do a lot of minor swing trading within that. All right. So you could pop up in a super trend, some smaller time frames, do some day trading and swing trading. For me, it's more swing trading than day trading, but you know that during that time frame, all of your trades are going to be long, so they're not going to be shorting because that overall momentum is taking you higher. So you're doing a lot of smaller trades within that larger trade itself, and everything just kind of compounds and is very nice for you. Again, you just have to wait for those opportunities. that one that we're looking at right now for Google, that thing I think took off like a year ago, and it's still going right now. So if you missed that, you can still be doing smaller swing trades within that. But that larger 70% move, oh god, that's going to be hard to find another one of those anytime soon, right? Eggs and bacon, ooh, that sounds pretty good too. Thoughts on XLM? Let me see. I haven't seen XLM in a minute. Obviously, right now it's not doing good at all. Why is it not letting me just find? Here we go. Alright. There's a few that look just like this right now. We are heading for a larger level of support, which is kind of around this 20-cent level. Because Bitcoin is trying to have a smaller reversal, you might have an opportunity to have a little bit of hope, you might say. But because Bitcoin is kind of looking more like a bearish type of chart right now, where we're looking at more of a bear market entry position, it looks like we may be entering a bear market. There we go. Sorry. You may see something of a short-term hold above this level, but if Bitcoin's not able to get back to where it needs to go, you're probably going to see this come back down even more. I think I was looking at this, I think it was a couple months ago now, and I was trying to see if the Fibonacci levels would give us any help because I was using two specific levels. Normally, I try to go from the lows of the lows here. All right, way back over here. And I like to see if this works out at all. So you go over to something like the weekly chart or the daily chart. And you can see it held a little bit, held a little bit, held a little bit. Helped us a little bit. Didn't really help us out too much there. Didn't do anything there. Didn't, kind of lost a lot of usefulness over the period of time here. But now I suppose what we have to do is still kind of stick with this because this is kind of what we have. You might be looking at some support around 1916. I was trying to find out if anything on the short term was going to be happening, but I didn't really see too much help from that either. All right, it came down to support, then it starts to fail every now and again, starts to fail a little bit more and more and more. It's feeling more and more like that right now. It's probably going to end up coming back down a little bit more here, probably below the 20s if we can't see Bitcoin have a large reversal. The last thing that I think I was checking on, it was this old Fibonacci extension. This is where I think you might have an opportunity here. So worked out. Next big level of support is going to be something around 1779. If I was looking to buy, I would buy somewhere around 1779 to around 20 cents, and that'd be an opportunity for a larger scale reversal there. But in the short term here, Bitcoin, it just doesn't look that fantastic as far as whether we're in a bull market or a bear market at this point. So even holding tokens like this is probably not looking good anytime soon, unless you're looking at something of a what's happening this week type of move with a temporary reversal. In that case, you can see there's an opportunity for us to probably get back above what is the Fibonacci level right around here, the 25 cent range. We're at 24 and a half right now, 25. You could probably expect it to maybe get something up here around 28 cents or so, probably as high as actually 29 cents. That wouldn't be too bad of a level to see a reversal. But then ultimately, just like back over here, we would end up trickling and losing all of those gains. So if you do want to buy right now for something like that, just make sure you have some type of trailing stop loss, which may be difficult in cryptocurrency, or just have an alert. So if it hits the price target you're looking for, let's say 28 cents or something like that, you're easily able to sell out of it and move on quite quickly, because a lot of this stuff has just been draining. And again, this isn't only as far as XLM, but like when Trump announced those tariffs on China again, the liquidation was so big that so many people got stopped out, and a lot of people that left these particular coins, all tokens, they just haven't felt the need to get back in because they were burned so badly, and like it happened so fast that nobody knew exactly what was happening, right? It was just, oh god, it was just horrible. And that's options, or like buying shares and then selling them off. Did you buy multiple options and sold one after the other? So it depends on the quantity of money you want to use. My retirement accounts and longer term accounts, I have a lot more money in them, so I usually just buy spot, right? Or just buy shares, right? For those of you guys in Robinhood, you can do partial shares. Now, if you want to be more aggressive, you can do options, but those options are going to be expensive because the safest way to do options is usually going to be doing something close to being in the money. If you want to go far outside the money because you know it's a growth stock and it can go a lot higher, you can do that. But my skepticism of that has been, for the last few years, even going back to Biden and then Trump before that. But let's take this current administration. What if Trump talks about tariffs? Everything goes down for a while, right? So it can really spook the market. So I haven't liked going straight into options if I haven't had to. Instead, what I prefer to do is I'll do those smaller swing trades that I was talking about. That's where you can do options. If you want to hold for a week or 2 weeks or something like that, that can be fine. Like here, let me just pull up Google again. Right. So let's get rid of all that stuff that we just had. You can see the last time we had the bullish momentum shift over here was back there. So everything after this, bullish, okay? Now let's say for our thing here, you guys can kind of see that. Yeah, damn, my face is so glitchy. I gotta figure out what's wrong with my camera or my cord. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's not the GPU or something like that. I need to get a new GPU anyway. Let's see. Okay. But let's say within this, you know, if you have buying opportunities, you're fine. So let me add on a smart money concepts indicator. Okay. Let's forget about everything else for a second. You're in the green here, you're in the green there, you're in the green here, you have a buy signal right there, right? And then your next level of resistance, if you're buying right here, is going to be right around there, right? So you can do a quick options play for just that week and see if it works out. Now, it broke out, went higher. You never know what's exactly going to happen on the other side. But again, you're at 181, you can buy a $190 or $200 contract, and then you can just hold on to it and see where it goes, and that usually works out pretty fine for me. If you want to, you can go, oh yeah, I'm looking for something more aggressive up here around 192 or somewhere there. You can do it. I like shorter time frames here. When Trump can say something, can just drop everything crazy. And I usually do small amounts of capital here because in options, you can turn a small amount of money into a large amount of money. If you do large amounts of money, I like to just do spot. Again, it just helps my wary soul to do it that way. I don't like large quantities of money with leverage and options and stuff like that. I don't like it, so I don't do it. It'll still work if you want to do it that way. It's just I personally have I don't like it. I get anxious, right? I literally suffer from anxiety and depression. I don't need to be having that extra stuff in my life if I can make money my own way. But that being said, right, what'll most likely happen here is you'll have some type of Fibonacci level. So for this one, what I like to do is to aim for the 1. So I see this one here, and I'll aim for the 1 level, which will be the white line right there. So in reality, even though I like something like that, if I'm looking at it, it'll be from there to there. But this is the daily chart. You can also do the 4-hour chart. So let's show that you have the daily chart showing you to buy right here. So the second line, because even if you use the daily chart, you're still holding for a minute. Okay. You kind of have to understand each time frame all at the same time, but I'm not going to show all of them at the same time. Here you can see everything's bullish right there, bullish right there, bullish right here. Even here it's okay. But you see the breakout right there. So if you see the technical breakout happening, what you can do is you look for another opportunity for Fibonacci level. So you see this one right here, boom, boom, boom. Because that's the one before, so you're kind of still moving in the overall trend. And you look for the one there. So if you're looking for that breakout that happened right above here, you'd be looking for the 1 level, which in this example is right there. And that was, well, let me be honest with you guys, because I'm not buying this options after hours. I'm buying it right here during market open or so. So what's that? 9 a.m. And that sold the day after that. All this was happening. Oh, there's earnings right there too, though. So let's say I just sold right before that, then right over here, that's like 3.8% for 4 days, and you get your options. I'll probably 20-30% right there for your options, you know. So you can do those smaller trades if you want to, but usually the 4-hour charts, the dailies, and the weeklies are all you need for options when it comes to growth stocks. If you want to do day trading with options, you can. I'm just not particularly a master of them, so I can't really give you any oh, this is some cool thing that I know how to do with this type of stuff. Nah. But again, you don't have to use this was just adding on the smart money concepts with not really much other data on top of it, right? There's people that use, like we were talking about before, the super trend indicator. Oh, chart patterns. Oh, I don't think I have it on here. So this is the daily chart. You said I saw it buy way back over here, right? Well, before it was even bullish, in my opinion. But again, I have my way. Here's one that just kicked off right there. Worked out beautifully. If you didn't want to do all the other type of stuff, this is within this one. I mean, it worked out, didn't hit your stop loss. This one hit your stop loss, didn't work out. This one worked out, didn't hit your stop loss. This one worked out, didn't hit your stop loss. Hit your stop loss. You can use momentum and other stuff to kind of figure out, oh, I should weed out some of this stuff out. But again, not looking at any of the momentum, just looking at, hey, we're in a bullish trend, and we just are using the buy signals here. This one worked out, didn't hit your stop loss. 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 The thing that's it's just hard is like, you gotta understand, so like this one right here, this started after hours, right? So you're not really buying it there, you're buying it here and then riding the wave, right? This one happened at the end of the day. This one, it didn't hit your stop loss. Well, I guess, yeah, you didn't hit your stop loss. I guess you're technically fine if you wanted to like say, hey, in a bullish market. Oh, no, sorry, no. You're not even taking this trade because it's not even the bullish opportunity yet. So whatever. The last one you're taking is right there. All right, so there's tons of different ways to go in and do it. And you just have to go find the pattern that works well for you. For me, momentum, super trends, MACDs, stochastics, RSIs, some smart money concepts. If you want to be bougie, I can do with their paid version, the price action concepts and stuff like that. But you follow the momentum, you're fine. The reason I don't think my way is as popular as other people is I'm not necessarily trying to find the bottom. Like the bottom was way back over here. I don't really care about this part. I'm happy to trade this from this to this, or from this to up here, or from this to here, or from this to up here. But in between this, like this to this to this, right? Like let's say you just do the buy and the sells. Forget about Fibonacci's and resistance levels and everything that's happening before all this. Forget about it. How about you just buy when it says buy and sell when it says sell, right? It's not going to be pretty, but you buy right here and you sell right here. That's 2% return. You buy, this was still in the thing. You buy right here and you sell. Oh shit. That's a little bit longer than I want to go for, but that's fine. You buy right here and you sell 20% return. This one was a losing trade, but let's talk about it anyway. You buy right here and you sell. You got to sell during open, so that's 3.5% loss. This one, market open, and you sell what right here? That one is a 1% profit. Now, could you have sold up here for more money? Yes, but let's just take it as we're selling it there, This one right here, you bought right there. Again, you got to wait for open market, so you're not making as much profit. If you're doing spot, you can do after hours, especially with Robinson with that. And you sell right here. That one is 3.5% return. It's not terrible. You just have to really watch the momentum. If the momentum is starting to break down, like for example, you see these ones didn't really do too well. This one right here. Well, what's happening right here on this chart? Is there something with the daily chart not having good momentum? No, it's okay. It's not great, but it's fine. How's the weekly chart doing? Still fine, not great. Sometimes you're just not going to be able to make a good trade because it's just choppy and consolidating before that larger move. But again, if you were to take every one of those trades and do just fine, just take all of them, you would still walk away with more money than you lost. And then over time, you'd be like, okay, well, we're consolidating a little bit. I'm willing to take the risk. And then you take something like that last trade that we did on the 4-hour chart, like back over here, you bought it, hit your stop loss, you move on. Guess what? There was another one that just happened. I guess after hours, you got to buy right here. You have your stop loss right there, right there. You're up on that one. You know what I mean? So you just got to take them on the chin. Google's a really easy one, I think, for people that want to get into it. It's just that, like, I love those longer term trends. There's just not many of them. And, this is something that, this is why I have the members channel, but we haven't had these. Like, the last time we had a buy signal on the weekly chart for Google was back in May, right? It's freaking November right now. It's been a long time. So it's just a little bit different, right? Like the last time we had one for Apple, June, AMD, April, Avgo, May 12th, you know, so it's been a minute. It's really been more than a minute. So, yeah, no worries, AT Static. Happy to see my man. Oh, BNMR. So if they can hold up and survive the bear market here, whatever we're in right now, I actually think it's something that I would love to buy. I would love to buy it, but they bought at all-time highs, or not all-time highs. They bought pretty much at the highs of this market. They're probably gonna have to buy a lot more. This market, you know, as like Benjamin Cohen actually told on one of his posts, these bear markets, they typically last for like a year. So hopefully we're not gonna have a bad one for that long, but like once I start to see the monthly technicals turning back to being bullish a little bit more again, or once Bitcoin, well, I would say really when Bitcoin is below the 150 weekly moving average, when I'm in my dollar cost averaging mode, I'll start to buy it up a little bit. But for me, it's just something I'm not really touching right now. I think the concept is interesting. I think I want to have some type of exposure to it. And part of it is during this next cycle, I don't really know if I want to own too much Ethereum itself because Solana performs so well. I think my exposure won't really come from owning Ethereum tokens. Instead, it'll come from owning BNMR, right? BMNR. Is that how you say it? BMNR, yeah. So I think that's how I'm going to have my exposure to Ethereum this next cycle, because the profit and the returns that I got. Now, I guess this isn't really updated because I sold a lot of this stuff here and I haven't updated on Coinbase, but or CoinMarketCap.com. But if you go to the portfolio and you see the returns that I got, now again, we've come down a lot and stuff like that, but you'll see that so yeah, Solana was up 403%. It was up a lot more, whatever. But Ethereum, you know, it's only up 97%. It wasn't really that great. It just wasn't performing that great. Even Tron beat it, right? Dogecoin definitely. I think no, I don't remember what Dogecoin was from the lows this cycle, like when I was buying stuff up. Yeah, let's say you bought it back over here 2022 and everything was falling. And let's say you sold it kind of when Bitcoin was doing some crazy stuff. You sold at some resistance levels, whatever. Let's say you have, let's not go to like an average of 5 cents. Let's say you have an average of like 8 cents. All right, let's just say you sold it, not at the top, but let's right over here. You sold a good chunk. That outperformed Ethereum. Ethereum did horrible this cycle. I mean, absolutely horrible. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to hold a bunch of Ethereum this next cycle. I may not hold any Ethereum tokens beyond what's in my my retirement account as far as crypto is concerned. My long-term portfolio, that like I don't touch it at all through the bearish and the bullish markets. Yeah, I'd rather just buy more Bitcoin, and I'd have that probably staked somewhere so I can earn some as on like a reputable exchange. Yeah. But yeah, as far as the company, if it can survive all this nastiness, I'm buying into it. I'm buying a lot of it, because I know it just gives you a much better return than the underlying asset like MicroStrategy with Bitcoin, right? But as far as owning Ethereum itself, I don't think I need to own any more of that stuff. It just hasn't been performing the way I want it to. What a great market. Yeah, yeah, you know, not great. Look at Bitcoin. Oh, beautiful, awesome. Look at Solana. Oh, okay, that's the super trend probably messing up there. Can I do it back? There you go. Great. The Dogecoin. Oh, fantastic news. Okay, that's Trump token. Let's stay away from that. You know, like a bonk, that didn't have a good move. Baby Doge didn't really have anything. I'm trying to get like Shiba Inu didn't have a good thing. Let's see. You bought Shiba over here, sold it up over here. 132%. That's not terrible, but it's not great. Pepe was pretty good here. Now this is a little bit different because 2022 is back over here, so I don't want to compare it. Floki back over here, same type of thing. ADA, another abysmal one. Buying it over here. Again, this is when you dollar cost averaging. You know, you could be dollar cost averaging all that type of stuff, but let's say you got lucky to live here. That's only 100%. So just there's a few tokens that didn't really perform too well at all this cycle, and Ethereum just happened to be one of them. Do I have videos and options to want to learn them? I don't really have too many videos, but YouTube has a bunch of them. The problem with making a video about options is there's just so much stuff to talk about as far as like the Greeks and the deltas and the not gammas. Yeah, let's just say the Greeks. Because there's a time the theta. There you go. There's a time decay component with options that really screws with people. They're just not used to seeing it happen. And volatility with options is very interesting because there's two markets. There's like the option that tracks what's happening with the underlying stock, but there's also the market of people who are willing to buy and sell that particular option at the premium, right? So like there's bid and ask for the options themselves. So you could see like you can see Google go up, but the price of your option go down because of the likelihood of it actually closing in the money during its expiration date may be going lower. So there's a lot of moving parts. There's the one on YouTube that has like millions of views. I'd always say probably start with that one. That one's usually been pretty good. How to learn options. Yeah. Not this guy. You don't want a 16-minute video. I cannot stress that. Like, you need a long, boring video. YouTube stopped pushing the really good educational videos. Let's see. This one could be interesting. 6+ hours. There was one that used to be very good. I just don't know what happened to it. It might have just lost the favor of the algo. Yeah, but you don't want short videos. Let's go to view count. I know one of them's like hours long. Yeah, here's the one I'm talking about. 5 years ago, options trading for beginners, ultimate in-depth guide. This one's a pretty solid one. Otherwise, you need a full-on course about it. But they're pretty good. They're just it's like leverage when it comes to crypto though. So you just got to be careful because you can lose a lot of money fast. You can make money really fast. Your account can blow up or whatever. But when it comes to options, don't use margin, but you know, if your option goes to zero, it's zero. There's no risk of it bleeding over to other parts of your account, which is a pretty nice way to go about it. There you go. But okay, everybody, I'm going to end the stream right here. I got through 2 hours, not 3. I need to work on my stamina a little bit more as far as all this is concerned. You can see I'm sitting back down, but I'm really concerned about what's happening with my camera. It's not as fluid as it normally is. You guys know I have like a 6K camera. It's supposed to work really, really fast with like really good graphics and stuff like that. I wonder if there's something just an issue with my cam link or something similar to that. So I'm gonna give that a peek. Thank you guys for asking me questions and talking with me for the last 2 hours. I am gonna be making these 2 to 3 hour videos a lot longer. I think I'm working my way up to 4-hour videos a day, and I think that's easier for me to do instead of like a few different videos. I'm all over the place right now as far as my YouTube channel, if you guys hadn't noticed. But if you guys want to, last thing before I hop off, check out the cryptomanual.com. This is a work in progress. It is in its soft launch, but what do you call it? There's going to be a lot of fun stuff I'll be doing in here, and I'll be making articles about stuff that I care about as far as cryptocurrency, some of the stuff I learn about, specifically when I go out to like a big expo, which I haven't done in a while, since like probably like May. Let's say I go meet somebody at a booth and I want to write an article about what's happening with them. I'll ask them some questions. I'll plug it into AI, have AI help me write an article, because I'm not going to not have AI help me write an article. I'm just saying that right now. I'm not writing an article from scratch. But you guys will have my thoughts about what I'm thinking about as far as this company, what they have potential for. And even if they don't have a token, I may just say, hey, follow them on Instagram, follow them on X, just so you can kind of see what they're up to. That way you guys don't have to like, I'm not writing an article so you put money in their company. I'm writing an article so you guys can understand what's happening in this random little space of the market, right? I think that's kind of a cool thing to do. So, hey Jamrock, it's going pretty well. It's in its opening stages here. It's in its soft launch. We're basically just testing a bunch of stuff. We're having the AI bots that, like, you know how like ChatGPT, all these companies, they have bots that scroll through new websites. We're giving it a chance to kind of scroll through the website right now, but everything is kind of like in the beginner form. You can imagine this is like stage 1 of stage 20, but at least everything is up and running now, and we're going to keep on changing it over the next few weeks. So like this right now is like a hot wallet. This is the current glossary explanation of it. We just have it there right now, but in reality it's going to look like where did it? Give me a second. There it is. Sorry about that. But this is what the final version is going to look like for the most part, of how everything is supposed to look. So you can see this one is much more fleshed out, but this just takes us a little bit more work to get done. So more fleshed out, everything working out. I plan to add some photos and stuff in here as well. But again, think of Investopedia, but just for cryptocurrency, more educational stuff. We're going to have lessons built in, which I think is going to be pretty fun. And that's where you guys have these little things that says like lesson. It'll be like a little 10-minute lesson teaching you what Bitcoin is, so you have a clear understanding, how to buy your first crypto wallets explained, and stuff like that. The little lesson just kind of help people out that want to learn. And if they don't, they just want to go through the glossary, it's fine. And we just started a new day right now in the week. Oh, this is gonna be interesting, guys. Keep a close eye on it. There's lots of fun football on today, so make sure you guys watch that. Not the bootleg places I'm watching, but I don't got cable at my house. I pay for internet. That's it. Anything else happening? Browns still winning. Cardinals still. Oh, Cardinals losing now. Falcons are beating the Saints. Cool. And the Eagles are still whooping the Cowboys. Awesome. You know Jerry Jones is mad. Yeah. But that's my day right now. I'm gonna go chill out for a little bit. I gotta do a bunch of laundry, basically a bunch of laundry. But thanks for watching, and I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys